Hello, good afternoon, everybody. Uh, Now we are moving on to the next session of Unit 2. So yesterday we have done with the topic of lab diagnosis of the fungal infections. Like many of the fungal infections are diagnosed in the lab by different laboratory techniques. So the contents all we have discussed about what is the introduction, what does a fungal organism mean, what are the what are the different types of fungal organisms, classification of different fungal diseases, how they are formed, and oral fungal diseases, and how the specimen from the human body or from the living organism, how they have been collected, and then what type of specimens are we collecting from the patients, and what are the different stains we are used in the laboratory to identify the different type of fungal organisms like Candida, Aspergillus, Mucor. Okay, and all these are different types of stains preferably used for different types of fungal organisms. And we are also studied about differential staining also, acridine orange, and all that. So now we'll continue with, after the identification of the fungi of a particular fungi, now we are going to study about the fungal culture. That is how we need to grow the fungal organism on a suitable medium for study of in-depth study of the morphology of that particular fungi. That is how the mycelium is, what type of hypha it consists of, what is it producing, what type of spores. So all that we are going to study by only culturing that particular fungal organism on a suitable medium. So we are using here in the laboratories generally, they use different types of media for culturing the fungal organisms, like basal media, nutritional deficient media, enriched and selective media, differential agar media, media for stimulation of ascospores, or media used for biochemical tests. So these are some different types of culture medias, what they have, culture methods or the media which are used for the fungal culture. So we'll go here one after the other. What is the composition of that each media, and which type of fungal organism can be cultured on that media. So first we'll go with the basal media, generally used in the laboratories for identification of a specific or a type of fungal organism, which is called as Soprodextrose agar or SGA agar. So this is a medium with the composition of that medium includes peptone, and the quantity of that peptone utilized in that agar is 10 grams, dextrose 40 grams, agar 20 grams. So we all are mixing these components in the 1000 ml of distilled water. So this is the composition we have taken for 1000 ml, and the pH has to be maintained as 5.6. So this type of media should be prepared and used for primary isolation. That is, a simple type of fungal organisms can be cultured on that, and they can be identified very easily. Another type, there's a basic generally used agar medium for culturing of the fungal organism. So sometimes along with this, some types of antibiotics are also utilized here in this medium to avoid the bacterial contamination. So we all know that agar medium is favorite for many bacterial organisms. So we are not culturing here the bacteria. So we are culturing our specific fungal organism on that particular medium. So we need to avoid the bacterial contamination. So to avoid that, we are using some antibiotics to kill that bacteria. So to this basal medium, some antibiotics like chloramphenicol of 50 mg, gentamicin, or cycloheximidine of 500 mg. If we are adding these antibiotics to this basal medium of the agar, the bacteria will not able to grow on that. They can't sustain or they cannot grow, and we can estimate or we can isolate only the fungal organism. So on this basal medium, we can identify the organisms like Candida or the blastomycosis, that is blastomycosis fungi, and aspergillus, that is causing aspergillosis disease on the medium. So if suppose from the patient or from the specimen, whatever the specimen we collected having that fungal pathogen, suppose if we are growing that on this basal medium, depending upon the type of the culture what we are going to produce over here. For example, you can see here, this is a aspergillus colony which is showing the characteristic feature of dry powdery colony. And here when we talk about this type of fungal organism, blastomyces, the genus, so this will produce a colony of a wavy nature in this manner on the agar plate. Whereas when we talk about the Candida, it will show a specific spiracular colony-like culture on the medium. So depending upon the growth of the fungal organism on this media, we can identify the type of the infection or the type of the fungal organism present in the specimen. Next, another type of medium what we are talking about here is corn meal agar medium or corn meal tween agar medium. This is a second type of medium used in the laboratory. The composition of this includes the corn meal. It is of around 8 grams we are taking, along with that zine and the type of chemical constituent. We are diluting it as the 40 grams of it, diluted it in the 100 ml. Then we are using tween 80, 2 grams, agar 4 grams, and we are diluting it in the distilled water, mixing everything in the distilled water of around 200 ml. Next, after mixing all these things, we are making, just heating the media, just make it as cooled, and then we get a solidified medium. So on this medium, the specimen collected can be inoculated, and then we can put it for growth or for culturing. Then the fungal organism which is present in the specimen can be grown and the morphology can be studied. Next, we'll go for the another type of enriched or the selective media, which is called as blood agar media. So as the name itself implies here, the agar, the medium is the main component of this medium is the blood. So that's why the name of this media is called as blood agar medium. You can observe here the medium is showing a significant color of red color of the blood. Now, so what is the composition of this blood agar medium is agar base, that is agar, we are taking it as 40 grams. Sheep blood we are collecting, it is around 50 ml, and distilled water of 1000 ml. So with this we are making this medium, the base of the medium we are taking here. Now through this medium, we can, the fungal organisms like Blastomyces or Histoplasmosis or Cryptococcus, they are growing, or Candida, they are growing significantly on this blood agar medium. And we can see here Candida, they appear just like a moist opaque colonies on this blood agar medium. So this is a medium which is favorite for these fungal organisms. They grow very well, they survive very well on this particular medium. Next type of agar medium, which is called as bird seed agar medium or Niger seed agar medium or the chocolate agar medium. So the composition of this Niger seed is Niger seed extract 200 ml, glucose 1 gram, chloramphenicol antibiotic we are using here again 400 mg, gentamicin 25 mg, and diphenyl solution of 10 ml, agar of 20 grams, and distilled water of 800 ml. So these, so whatever it is, suppose if you are taking a chocolate agar, instead of Niger seed extract, we are using here the chocolate mixture. And suppose if you are using a bird seed, instead of Niger seed, we are using here the bird seed extract material of 200 ml. And the remaining compositions are same. So this type of media, it is also used for the primary isolation of the fungal infectious fungal pathogen, what we call it as Cryptococcus neoformans. And in the, especially when you talk about the chocolate agar medium, this is a favorite medium for the candida, that is a candida fungal organism causing the disease candidiasis, which on this medium this appears as yellow white color colonies. So another type of medium what we are talking about here is sunflower seed agar or pulse medium, that is pulverized pulverized agar medium, where we can see here we are using here the sunflower seed, the antibiotic chloramphenicol agar and the distilled water. So the species called as Cryptococcus neoformans, on this particular medium it appears light to dark brown colored colonies. Next, another type of agar medium used in the laboratory techniques is Biggie agar, that is bismuth, glucose, glycine agar. So here the composition of it is not given, but the main ingredients of this particular agar medium is bismuth sulfite we are taking, glucose, the main composition or the content for sugar component, that is the glucose we are taking, and the glycine, along with this agar, which is again dissolved in the 1000 ml of distilled water for preparation of this agar. So this agar is also suitable for isolation or the culturing of the Candida species like Candida albicans, Candida krusei, and Candida tropicalis. These are the species which can be easily cultured on this type of agar medium, and by which we can sort out the infection. Next, another different type of agar medium, that is Pagano-Levin agar. So the composition, it includes peptic digestion. This is about 10 grams per liter. Yeast extract we are using of 1 gram. Dextrose 40 grams. Agar 15 grams. And dissolved in the water of 1000 ml. Okay, all this is for 1000 ml of water. And the pH is maintained as 6.2. Right. So in this particular medium, you can see here the Candida fungal organism is showing a specific, the particular different species like Candida albicans on this medium. It appears the color of that colony will appear cream to light pinkish in color. And another species of Candida, that is Parapsilosis. This is another species which appears red to maroon in color. Another type, that is a Tropicalis, red to maroon. On Krusei, they appears white to cream color, which is of spreading type. The when we spread, the colony is in the, when we are doing the culture on a spreading technique, they appears like a spreading type of colonies. So here it this this medium is distinguished Candida species depending upon the ability to reduce triphenyl tetrazolium chloride. Now, in the biochemical test, we are using here the medium which is called as tetrazolium reduction medium. In this, it includes peptone of 1 gram, glucose, beef extract, tetrazolium, and neomycin, distilled water, and the pH is around 5.6 to 6.6. This medium, it is used for discovery of the same, what we talk about, to identify the biochemical test of the organism. This can be carried out. This medium can be used for growing the fungal organism. Next is the media like carbohydrate assimilation media. All these are the biochemical tests to assess how much carbohydrate does the fungal organism is going to produce. The type of urease test, rapid urease test. All these comes under the biochemical test of the fungal organism. Carbohydrate assimilation media, here we are estimating the carbohydrate content. The in this media, it includes sugar disc of 4 grams, 4% KNO3, yeast nitrogen base, and yeast carbon base. So this medium is used to isolate or to estimate the amount of the carbohydrate which is present in that particular fungal organism. Next is the urease test. The medium used here is urea is a base, about 29 grams. We are using the agar of 15 grams dissolved in 1000 ml of water. And for this here, we are using also an indicator called as phenol red. So due to this, the colonies or the Cryptococcus aureus, which is a positive fungal organism, gram-positive organism, it produces like a perfect color like pinkish red, or it will turns from amber color to the pinkish red. Next, rapid urease test. It will convert the urea to ammonia. The color of the organism will be turning from yellow to purple. So to identify the what type of biochemistry, what type of the biochemical compound present in that particular organism, we are using this particular test. Next is a germ tube test. So here we are in this test is named after the fungal organism or the yeast-like cell here producing a germ tube-like structure upon the culture. So you can see here, this is a germ tube-like structure. So it is named after this particular formation of the germ tube. So it is called as a germ tube test. So this is here we are the medium what we are going to use, basically the collected from the specimen what we are going to collect is from the human serum, and it should be incubated for around 2 hours for production of this germ tube like structure. So this test is called as germ tube test. Next comes the serological test, that is collecting the serum from the particular organism or a living infected organism. Through that serum, by performing the serological test of employing the antibodies or a specific antigen to that particular organism, then the antibody antigen reaction will occur, due to which the test, if it is present, it comes as positive. If it is absent, that comes negative. For example, for the fungal pathogen that is called as Histoplasma capsulatum, this is a fungal organism, and Blastomyces dermatitis also. These two are the fungal pathogens which are causing the pulmonary disease called as histoplasmosis or blastomycosis. So for this type of fungal organisms, we are using a specific antigen which is called as a H&M antigen, or for this blastomyces, we are using a specific antigen called A. So if these antigens are added to the serum of the pathogen, or sorry, of the specimen what we have collected, then if this antigen, if it binds to this particular type of fungal organism, if they get bound to this mycelium, the mycelium of this fungal organism, then the result will be, the test will be positive. In the same way, the A antigen, if it goes and binds, if the organism is there, it will go and binds to the cell wall of the mycelium. If it is not there, then it will not bind, will not get the positive result, we get a negative result. That is called as the serological test, identification of this fungal organisms. Next, like skin test, we all know that there are many fungal organisms which are going to cause the uh, epidemiological diseases like histoplasmosis, candidiasis, blastomycosis, or aspergillosis. These are all the diseases related to our skin epidermis. This is also been carried out with the help of the epidemiological studies. That is just like a powder or an oil or an ointment, when it is applied to the epidermis or the skin lesion of the infection area, then that gives you the result based upon the coloration. Next, in the molecular study. So in the molecular study, where we are going to go deeper into the molecular study of DNA. So the main basic test what we are going to do here, even for the fungal test also, PCR, polymerase chain reaction, the genome DNA here, the amplification of the DNA and the sequence is done with the help of the PCR of that particular fungal organism. So based on this PCR, the genetic sequence of the fungal organism can be done, by which the type of the fungal organism can be estimated. and also with the help of the genetic markers or like RFLP, restriction fragment length polymorphism, or amplified fragment length polymorphism. These are by RFLP or by AFLP here, and also by PCR, the molecular diagnostic test can be carried out. Right. Thank you. These are some of the reference textbooks we have given over here to study about the diagnostic techniques of the different fungal infections what we speak about in this particular content. Like a textbook of medical mycology by Jagdish Chandar, essentials of medical microbiology and essential of microbiology for dentistry, color atlas and textbook of diagnostic microbiology, pathogenesis and treatment of oral candidiasis, fungal infections of oral mucosa, collection and specimen techniques, and also through the internet access. You can I'm short sharing here. So these are the different techniques, culture media, and laboratory techniques used for identification of the fungal pathogens. So you may ask that why we are going to relate this with our mushroom cultivation. So this is a basic identification of the fungal organism causing the infections. So even in the cultivation of our mushrooms also, if these type of, for preparing the spawn, for culturing the suitable uh, fungal organism on the media, suppose if these organisms have been present, we can avoid these by doing these tests in the laboratories. We want only a specific fungal. Suppose we are doing here a button mushroom cultivation. So we want the oyster, the agaricus spawn only to be prepared. So for that, we are cultivating only the Agaricus campestris, but not the Mucor or Penicillium or Candida or all these types of fungal which are causing pathogen. They are the pathogenic fungal organism. So first we should have an idea about these pathogenic fungi, how they can be identified and how they can be avoided during our cultivation technique. So that is why this content has been introduced in this particular content. Am I clear, participants? So I'll stop over here. So because tomorrow's topic is starting with our cultivation procedure of how the sterilization of the different glasswares or the sterilization of our chemical components, what we are using in the cultivation of mushrooms, how that has to be carried out. So that is again a continuation topic. I can't break in this middle of the content. So I want to go it with our next session. So I wish all of you will cooperate with me. So I just stop my session over here for today's class.